NLA is giving you more chances to multiply your Playway winnings by adding multi-X to your regular Playway bets to win up to 5 times more. Imagine winning as much as $1,200 instead of $240 with a $10 Playway bet by simply adding multi-X. Place your Playway bets from $1 to $10 or in increments on your favorite Playway symbols or numbers. Then add the multi-X option at the same value to win 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more or free plays. With multi-X, you must bet the same amount wagered on your regular Playway bets for your winnings to be multiplied. Grenadians, value your dreams and win your way as much as 5 times more with multi-X added to Playway and watch your money grow. Must be 18 years or older to play. NLA, making your dreams come true.
Yeah. Welcome to Thursday. Thursday on the ride. As you come and go ahead and share up the thing, guys. Share, 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 share. Thank you, Desiree Williams. Thank you so much. Share it to a friend. Share it to somebody. Share it to everybody. Shirley Ann, thank you. I see you. Sian Thomas, thank you so much. Night Riders. As soon as you share, I want you to say, I share. Once you share, I want you to say, I share. Give me some indication that, audio and video is good. You guys hearing me and everything is fine. So I can proceed because we have some things to talk about, guys. Yeah, we have some conversation. We have a conversation. We have to have this conversation. We need to have this conversation. Tag somebody, tag a friend, tag somebody, put it on a page, put it in a group, invite a few people. Kenisha, thank you so much for sharing. Tamika, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. Then Deslin, thank you so much. Good night to you from Grenada. Thank you, Grenada. A big up to the folks from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. My friends from Jamaica, thank you so much. We appreciate you all the time. All right, guys, so it's Thursday. And on Thursday, we do this program, What's Pissing You Off, right? What's pissing you off? There are a few things I would like to talk about, but it's really your program, right? It's really hearing from you and seeing what's affecting you in your tongue, in your village, in your country, wherever you are, right? But there are a couple things that I've been investigating today. In fact, I spent the better part of my day running through the story because a lot needed to be digested and a lot needed to be considered. A lot of information needed to be looked at and double looked at and triple looked at. So my team and I, we combed through all this information. Thank you so much, Tamika. Appreciate you. Yes. Big up. Yes. Oh, St. Vincent, Canada. Big up. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So let me give you guys a quick rundown history of what we do here. One of the core things that we do and what we represent here and Right Along, right? From since inception of this platform, no one could deny that we are very, very strong on the protection of our kids. It's very important. We talk to families about it. It's the same reason we bring on countless guests and we talk about how you should, do whatever you can in your power as a parent to protect your children. So I'm very passionate about the welfare and well-being of children. So, thank you. Thank you. Right. So, a few months ago, about a year ago. Wow, time fly. We had a situation where we had to investigate an individual because we got some leads, and we was asked to do further investigation and check on this particular story. And I don't know if you guys remember the story with the pharmacist, right? We broke this story right here on the ride. And it was not until after we broke that story, police actually moved in and arrested the individual. Nothing happened before that. We have done this countless times. We get leads, and when we get leads, guys, we don't just hearsay and come on Facebook and post stuff. It takes like almost the whole day in calling, investigating, because if we putting out any information, guys, it have to be accurate. We're not in the business of just putting people on blast just because you want to put people's name out there on blast. So, Doug, big up yourself. So earlier today, in fact, it was yesterday, I got this call from this very concerned parent. They contacted us on Facebook, and she asked that we give her a call. Now, I get a lot of messages on Facebook, right? But that particular one stood out because she wrote the story, and she basically tell me how urgent the matter is. And after I read the story, it was shortly after I was on the air, so I couldn't contact her at the same time, but I got a call from another family member that told me the story. I'll tell you guys what the story is in a second, so bear with me. So it involved a young child. And after I heard the story from the family member who was just, regurgitating the information that was told to him, I asked that I speak to the mother, okay? Because we thought that it was very important that I get it directly from the source. So this morning, first thing this morning, I spoke to the mother, and she relayed the story off to me, right? Not good, not nice. So what was interesting about the story was that there were another eyewitness to what happened besides just the mother. So I asked the mother, because the story was so shocking, so shocking. I wanted to verify it from somebody else who actually saw it. So I proceeded to speak to someone else, and that other person relayed the same exact story that the mom told me. So this is not second-hand story. This is not somebody telling somebody about a situation. Let me give you a quick synopsis. Again, before I give you a quick synopsis, let me first say that we do believe that the RGPF is doing their due diligence and doing whatever they need to do in furtherance of this case, right? So this is not a blast the RGPF or claiming that the RGPF is not doing their job. We believe that the RGPF is doing their job, and they'll continue to do their job in this particular case right here. So the information that was relayed to me, and I'll still make it as broad as possible because I want to protect the child. In no way, no shape, no form, I want this child identity to be really revealed. Hence the reason why I even told the mother, I don't want you to come on the program because somebody could hear your voice and they could identify you. So to protect the child, I don't want to talk to you on air. But she relayed the information to me. And boy, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is what I had to say after this mother told me her story. Now, I'm very cautious, and I try to be very cautious in these scenarios, right? So I always say that there are always more than one side to a story, right? I believe that the person in question, though they are accused, they're not yet found guilty. So that person have their story to tell as well. And there might be other underlying things information that might come across within the next couple of days. And, you know, we have to revisit and crunch it and put it together to put the whole story together. But here is what, in a nutshell, that happened. Very broad stroke nutshell. Hold on. A young man, an elder gentleman, I should say, is being accused of abducting or removing or allegedly taking a child from the home of her parents. And that is the mother's story. And allegedly transporting this child to his premises. Right? That's the mother's story. The child is 2 years old. The mother indicated that the individual in question is a known person in the community, a respected person in the community, right? And someone that is a close associate of the family, not a stranger. When the mother found out what actually happened or was happening, she moved swiftly to find out, because she missed the child for a period of time. The gentleman was there at that point in time, and then he left. And moments after, when she realized the child wasn't there either, she frantically left to find out, only to find out that someone told her that they saw the child in a transport. Her same child in a transport. An elder gentleman, right? He didn't have any legal custody to remove the child from the said premises. And that's the mother's premise. He didn't have any legal right to take the child. He wasn't a guardian. As far as the mother is concerned, what had happened there is abduction or kidnapping. Anyway, the mother frantically left. That's her word, that's her speaking. Frantically left to try to find out with the child, until somebody told her that they saw the child being transported to this certain individual home. All right? So the mother and the said individual proceeded to walk to the child home, proceeded to find out if, you know, the child is actually where the said individual said that the child was. So they walked down to the individual home and started to call out to the child. Only to later, after she called out to the child, a voice responded. And the voice that responded was that of the child, as far as she could recognize, so she knew her child's voice, right? Anyway, she walked to the direction of where the child voice was being, where she heard the voice, only to see the said individual sitting. Well, first, before she started sitting, they saw, that's the mother. Articles of clothing, the child clothing, underwear, and other articles of clothing on the floor. Later to see the child, her daughter, sitting on the said individual lap, naked on the individual. 2-year-old child. Again, that's the mother's side of the story. Now, I'm going to later share with you the other side of what was brought to my attention. Of course, you could imagine, the mother frantic as hell. What is it that you're doing with my daughter on you, sitting on you? What kind of craziness is that? I mean, who wouldn't react that way, right? Man probably get a couple slap or whatever the case might be. She upset, very upset. You could imagine. She went over and she grabbed the child, took the child off the man's lap, only to find out that he's sitting there, fully exposed, with the child sitting on top of his lap. So after the mother told me that story, I said, let me talk to the other eyewitness, the individual in question, to try to really put this together, because, I mean, she probably could have not seen certain things. She probably didn't see what she thought she saw. So I was, Anyway, I spoke to another individual who actually saw what happened. And the next individual who I spoke to, independent of the mother, translated the same exact story to me. What happened, transporting the child to the said location, what she saw when she got there, child being naked, sitting on the man, pulled the child up, the man was exposed. The person was able to give us the same information. So the mother is obviously upset. And here's what's the upsetting thing for me, guys. I mean, all of this is upsetting already, right? What the most upsetting thing about this is, guys, the child is traumatized. And you could imagine a 2-year-old, right? Traumatized like hell. I keep watching my phone because I expect someone to either message me but they ain't messaged me yet. So far we good. Because I don't want to say too much at this point in time. Again, I'll be as vague as possible. But one of the upsetting thing, let's go back to the upsetting thing now. One of the upsetting thing is that this child already traumatized and will be traumatized for probably the rest of her life. And although she's a child now, she will never forget this experience. And the mother and the family and the father, of course the father is, could imagine how upset the father is. They don't want the child to relive those moments. The upsetting thing about it is now, the sad part about it is, the child have to be interrogated. The child have to be, processed. The child have to go to authorities. Now, this is not the fault of the RGPF. This is not the fault of the authorities. This is actually the law. This is how it, obviously, it's not illegal for them to interrogate the child. So that's a natural process. But to me, that is disgusting. That is the worst possible thing you want to do to a child. To have the child regurgitating this information, I would think that the law should provide that you have eyewitness to this. You ask yourself the natural question: what is this child doing in the premises of not a father, not a cousin, not a so close of a family member. What that child doing in your house? Let me stop there and let me give you the other side of the story, because someone called me and gave me another side of the story. I was told that the child was not naked. The child was clothed, and that's the other side of the story. The child was not naked. In fact, the child was fully clothed. Although the mother and the eyewitness say that it definitely was naked. The child was naked. But the other side of the story is like the child was naked. However, the individual was intoxicated. And the intoxicated individual was in fact naked. No clothes on, but the child was not naked. So all you understand what's pissing me off today. Either or. Even if the child was not naked, but the said individual was in fact naked, it's a problem. What the child doing in the house with an older gentleman, not the father, not the uncle, eh? Let me stop here for a little bit and take some calls. 718-701-5720, guys. This has been pissing me off all day. And again, the thing that's pissing me off the most is that authorities have to interrogate the child. And that child is 2 years old. That child just started to speak. What if, and we don't want to put it in the sense that we want to wrongly accuse anyone. We want everyone's story to be told, right? And as I said it from the top, we don't know the full story because there's always two sides of the story. And this is currently, I'm sure, it's under investigation. The police know about it, all right? But there are two eyewitnesses to this. Now, the hospital or the doctor, there's some other thing I want to say, but I'm not going to say it because I think it don't need to be said right now. But trust me when I said that, when I'm saying that, the mother witnessed something that she should not have witnessed with her 2-year-old daughter in the presence of that man. That's what she said. That's how she felt. And anyway, guys, let me open up the number. 718-701-5720. This is what's pissing me off. This is what's on my mind because we had to deal with this throughout the whole entire day. We had to try to understand. Let's take a call. Caller, you live? Where are you calling us from? Hello?
Junior.
Hey, caller. Go. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Canada. I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have any information or any details like leading up to the witnesses having a chance to make a video in the condition that they met and the gentleman? And if by chance they have a video, they're able to videotape what they saw, what they witnessed, I don't think that 2-year-old should be interrogated by the police. I think taking consideration the age of the child and the nature of the circumstances, the video should be evident enough use against the adult. I speak with you right now and my skin makes bumps, so that's my contribution, Junior.
Thank you so much for calling. In reference to the video, because I did ask, the mother, she frantically left her home, not expecting, and that's what she said. She left the house, almost half naked, because she just ran out of the house, right? And she didn't take her phone, nothing. She just was curious about her child. And listen, I would be questioning if there is a video of someone of any kind of activity of someone with a child. I would question what's the intention of that person videotaping that in the first place. Let's take another call. Caller, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Grenada.
Yes, caller, go right ahead.
In this situation, the mother was there with a young lady, and they are the two main witnesses on this issue. What I'm saying, the man had no right to take the child from the parents' home and go with the child. Why he had to do that? This is not right. And interrogating a 2-year-old, what can she say more than to be traumatized in her life? Something needs to be done about the situation now, because if the parents decide to take step and take the law into their hands, it wouldn't be nice. It wouldn't be nice. And the man is walking there and doing like he's senile and dotish and don't know what is going on. I don't like it one bit.
Yeah.
You know, this is our future. We need to protect them, not try to have them like when they get old, they have a phobia for certain things and they disgust with things in life. We need to help them know. We need to groom them. So, and he different with him. He's not even supposed to be in the same area with the child presently. They need to get him off because he's a kidnapper and a pedophile at this moment. And that's what I have to. Thanks.
All right, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. 718-701-5720. Yeah, guys, you could call us in right now. There are so much more information about this that I don't want to reveal at the moment. So I hope you guys understand. But this is really stuck in deep in my crowd. Either way, I'm concerned about the child. I'm concerned about the well-being of the child at this moment. Again, hence the reason why that I don't want the child to be identified in no kind of way. We don't want the mother. I don't even want the mother to come on, because she wouldn't have a problem coming on telling her story for herself. But I decided that if we do that, then people would identify her, they would identify the village, they would identify, and then that child, right, probably would be forever prejudiced for whatever reason. People take all kind of thing and make fun. The child will grow up to be 15, 16, and that would forever be lingering over her head. So I don't want that, right? I don't want that. So that's why we don't want to have the child, the mother on at this time. Again, guys, we open up the phone line 718-701-5720. And I'm threading very, very cautiously. Lynn, if you find I'm going off the deep end a little bit with too much information, just give me a nod, okay? There's a lot more information that I would give time to reveal and give the authorities to reveal some of these information. But one of the vexing thing about this whole situation, the most vexing thing about it is the law that allow for a child to be interrogated after something like this. There should be a law against that. There should be a law that says that that's one thing you cannot do. Find evidence in other ways to substantiate the claims. You don't want to further traumatize a child. You don't want to re-traumatize a child that's been through a situation like this. Now, the mother is saying that every time the child go to the bathroom or the child go anything like that, it's like the child is remembering this whole situation again for the past couple of days, just every day. Yesterday not yesterday, today was the only day that child didn't mention something about the situation that occurred, right? And that's the mother talking. And further interrogation of that child would be even more long-term damaging for that child, psychologically. So I think that, just the law that make that to give permission to the authorities to interrogate a child should be scrapped, should be do away with. This should never happen. This cannot continue. And this is the first thing I'm thinking that the lawmakers and them should just pull up right now, and that's a loophole. That is a loophole, and it's damaging the kids, damaging the children. There should be a law against that. There should be a law against any authority interrogating a 2-year-old over a situation like that. There are other ways. There are many, many other ways that investigators could get evidence and information to provide to the DPP or to provide to prosecutors or whatever the case might be. There are many other ways to substantiate or to obtain information to bring a very strong case, not bring the child into the situation where they have to be interrogated over this particular situation. But we're taking calls, 718-701-5720. This is what's pissing me off on a Thursday. Let me hear what you guys have to say. Connie. Yes, guys. And let me also say, parents, all you have to be very careful. And sometimes careful is not even the word, because the people and them that you think will never, the people and them that you say or that you might never look to might do something like that. A close person or somebody, that's very much known in your area, or somebody that you put some trust in. At the end of the day, they're the ones.
At the call, press 1. For more options,
let's take this call. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, New York. Go right ahead.
Yeah. So my contribution is this. Unfortunately, in sex abuse cases, you have to speak to the child. But a 2-year-old, they don't speak to a 2-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
The difference of finding out what happened. Now, in speaking to children who are sexually abused, you speak to them once, so they recount once. Different people don't keep asking them about what happened, because that's further traumatizing the child, and that's what you don't want to do. That's why you have one person do the interview for older children. But normally, for a child under 5, you don't question, that's not what you do. That's not how you get the information at all. At least here, from my experience.
And Lydia is asking such an obvious question, and I know you work in child protection as well. She's saying, can a 2-year-old be interrogated? Like, what can a 2-year-old tell you? Like, what could you get from a 2-year-old?
So you don't, that's what I'm saying. So you don't question a 2-year-old child. A doctor will examine the child.
Right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So that's what happens. A doctor will examine the child to see if they're staring in the hymen, see what, they can tell. They can tell.
Right.
Because, sometimes we have 2-year-olds who have an STD, you know? So if a 2-year-old ends up with an STD, a 1-year-old, a 6-month-old, something sexually happened to that child. So there are different ways of finding out that kind of information. But a 2-year-old cannot give you any information. They can't tell you what time of day it was. They can't tell you nothing like that.
Yes.
So that's how we do it here. I don't, I can't talk about Grenada and how they do it, but a 2-year-old cannot tell you, well, he did this or he did that. Right?
Yes.
And unfortunately, most question a child. But what happens is, here you have a psychologist, a child psychologist who would question the child, speak to the child, and let the child tell their story while the police will listen and the caseworker will listen. So you don't interview that child at all. Because outside of that, if everybody's asking this child continuously, you're re-traumatizing the child, and that's what you want to avoid, because you don't want them to start recanting. But in regards to a 2-year-old definitely cannot tell you. They might tell you stick something, you understand, based on how advanced they are in language. You know, they could tell you they suck something, but like they could probably tell you little things, but not detail. So that's I don't know, maybe the doctor that will be dealing with this child in terms of finding out what happened to the child.
Right. Now,
So
again,
that's my country.
it's good that I have you on, because I want to find out this. Now, you know what? No, I don't want to ask you that, because if I ask you that, it's going to reveal something that I don't want to reveal at this time. So that's okay. That's fine.
Well, you can call me back.
Yes, no
You can
problem.
call me
Thank you
back.
so much.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. Yeah.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Right along live, 718-701-5720. We're talking about this story here that was brought to light to us from yesterday, and we spoke to a few individuals who witnessed what happened, what transpired. Let me also caution, guys, that there are more than one sides to every story, right? As a disclaimer, there are more than one sides to every single story. And this particular information that we receive from the parents, from the mother and the witness, this is their recollection. We have no reason to disbelieve that their recollection is two separate individuals that actually corroborated their story. So I have no reason to disbelieve them. I don't have no reason to believe that anything else, right? But at the same time, I want to caution that there may be some information that the other side could reveal that we not yet have at our disposal. The authorities are doing their investigation. And this is not me expediting or pushing forth or jumping ahead of their investigation. This is me saying that the law that permits a young child to be interrogated after a alleged crime like this should be against the law. That should be abolished, should be done with. No child should relieve those interrogation or live through an interrogation, especially when you have to do of a sexual nature, because it's actually re-traumatizing the child over and over. So my purpose of having this conversation, and there will be more conversation that we will reveal in the next couple of days or so on this. There'll be more information that will be revealed. But my purpose here today is to ask the lawmakers, ask the people who are in power to make the laws that say that you protect the children. We cannot have the kids, the children, the young people, the future being traumatized and re-traumatized. Now let's talk about the men, because we haven't really spoken about men who do things like this, right? What for men who put themselves or get themselves involved in minors like this, young children, teenagers, what do you actually see? Unless there is a deficit, there is an issue, there is a problem. What do you actually see when you look at a 2-year-old? Then you just want to hug them and give them a toy. Or give them a look. You just love children. What do you see when you look at a 2-year-old? How could an individual look at a 2-year-old in a sexual way? (718-701-5720). That's the worst part of it as well, because this need to be, I don't know if it's some kind of ritual, or if it's something Yeah, ritual is the word. I don't know if it's some sort of ritual that I can't. I don't know. I don't know. But a 2-year-old is so innocent. A 2-year-old child is so innocent. What would even make an adult feel that is okay? Even if, let's look at it like this, guys. Even if that child, you didn't bring the child to the house, even if that child walked to your house, even if the child came to your premises or was dropped off at your premises by somebody else, right? Even if that is the case, as a grown adult, the first thing a regular, average thinking person would do is find that child and bring that child back home. Or call the police. You might know the parents of the child. Call the parent. And I'm thinking in the least case scenario, the best case scenario, you're going to think, okay, there's a young child here. Let me get naked in front of the young child. Let me take off my clothes in front of the young child. Or let's look at it by another set of, things that I was circulating. Say the individual was intoxicated. And I'm putting all of this out not to make excuse for the situation. I'm just trying to throw all of these things out there, devil's advocate for everything. The child was intoxicated, so the individual was intoxicated. Does that then excuse someone? You're so intoxicated to the point where you don't know yourself. You go get naked. Well, you don't know, but your intuition is to get naked in front of a young child. You are totally out of it so much that is what the rum make you do. Well, the rum might make you do it another time. And next time you might end up with my daughter or somebody else's daughter. Because if the rum gonna make you do that, this kind of behaviors is what I think does send people to prison, like parents. Because not all fathers and not all mothers go be calm about a situation like that. It's a serious situation. And I'm not trying to make up any excuses, guys. I'm not here trying to make up any excuses. I'm just trying to look at what's a possible defense that anyone would have to take a child or to have a child in your presence, in your space, in your house, in your apartment, in your house in this case, and naked in front of the child, as was said in some quarters, or have the child naked in front of you. Seven 718-701-5720, guys. We're taking your call. Let me know. Let me hear from parents. Let me hear from mothers. Let me hear from you mothers. Let me hear from you mothers. And I want to hear from fathers too. But I want to hear from you mothers. Make this make sense to me. And let me know what would have been your reaction in a situation if you came upon that something similar. What would be your immediate reaction? And what could be, and I don't even want to say what could be possibly an excuse. I'm just trying to understand it on both sides. Help me make it make sense, guys. Help me make it make sense. 718-701-5720. Again, we're talking about this situation right here. and it's funny because we never mentioned the individual name as yet. I haven't even mentioned the village where the individual lived. But it seemed that some people already know who the individual is, because we did get calls, stating that it is known. So I don't know if it's something that is, people know about, or it's something that the community is aware of or been aware of, or something that been happening for a while. I don't know if that is the situation. But if it is a situation and everybody else turn a blind eye to this, it's pretty sad. Because in a situation like this, if this happen, you see, like when you see your neighbor's house burning, you have to wet yours, because you don't know when the thing will start coming in your yard, when it would affect you. So we all have to be aware of situations like this. We all have to be very aware, cognizant of these situations, and know how we could be proactive, right? But I think the one way that we could be proactive about this at this point, guys, is to tell the law, to tell the lawmakers that interrogating and re-traumatizing, and it's not even, listen, interrogating is not even a word that you use with a 2-year-old. That is not an oxymoron. You don't say interrogate a 2-year-old. Traumatize a 2-year-old. It sounds better, eh? Why would you want to traumatize a 2-year-old after they came out from an alleged kidnapping and alleged sexual molestation? Why would you want to traumatize or re-traumatize a child? Again, guys, I've seen a lot of typing going on, but I want to hear you guys. I want you guys to call me. I want to hear from the mothers. Give me a call, 718-701-5720. We're talking about this incident right here that we're following and we'll continue to follow. And I would also want to go as far and say that I believe at this point, the RGPF is doing their job in finding, at least preparing a good resolution to the situation, right? I think the RGPF is doing what they should be doing at this point to rectify and remedy the situation, right? I think that they are doing everything that they could do at this point in time. So, and you're going to be hearing a lot more about it. We got another call. Caller live, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Grenada.
Grenada,
and I don't find this baby should be interrogated, because this child will have to live with that for the rest of life. I as a mother of 2 children myself, I would want my children, if they pass through something like that, for them to be interrogated.
Yeah. Because I said, interrogation and a 2-year-old, it shouldn't even be 2 words that we use together.
That shouldn't be the doctors.
Yeah.
The doctor should be the one to say that, yes, this man is to the child, and that should be left with the doctor and the parents and with police. This child shouldn't have to go to no court or nothing.
Well, we ain't talking court yet. We're talking about the investigators or the police or these agencies and authorities. And as far as the mother said, she don't want to talk. Like she explained to the mother in how little way or whatever. Every day she talking about it. Every day she telling the mother, oh, this. Anytime she go to the bathroom, she's talking about it, and she's already traumatized. And today was the only day she ain't say nothing. So it's like she's slowly kind of trying to win her out, hopefully, because it's a very traumatic experience. And to bring her back there now, to have a third person try to get information from her so she could re-traumatize her again, it's going to affect her even more, I believe.
Of course, it will affect her. Because something like that did happen when I was a child. And up to today, I'm still scared.
Wow. Yeah. I know someone that is 62, and something happened to her when she was 3. And she's still taking psychological assessment up to this day, and she's 62.
Well, this thing to me when I was 5.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry for this child. She almost so she could explain to the mother.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, caller. Thanks for your input, all right? Stay safe. Take care of the kids.
All right, then. Thank you. You too.
Yeah. Yeah. 718-701-5720. Let's hear from the mothers. Or you know what? Let's hear from the fathers as well. Let's hear from the fathers. Because I think we need more male voices speaking up on this. Because as I said, guys, there is no one that I would have as a brethren or a friend, or I punks in with, or I hang in with, or I lime in with, that have these tendencies. You won't be my friend. You know, so men need to speak up on this as well. Caller, where are you calling us from?
Yes, hi, good night, Julie. I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. Go right ahead.
Junior, with this child, you never traumatize a child more, because this child have been traumatized already, this whole ordeal. And when somebody is traumatized, it's a lasting effect on them mentally, psychologically, through their life. I am sorry that this young child has to go through this. My question is, I'm not blaming anybody. Where is the neighbors? Where is the church? Where is the leaders? Where is our laws? What happened? I remember back then people used to look out for people. This child didn't have to go through this. This child should never go through something like that. I don't blame anybody. And we have so many, you know, nobody to be blamed. But we as parents, I'm not a parent, but this topic you're speaking, it hurts me to the core. I have compassion on animals, children, because I work with them, and the elderly care.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Junior, if I was a judge, and these kind of dirty men, I'm saying it, men well as women, because women do it too. Let me tell you something, Julia. I would not have pity on them. They would never want to see the judgment I would pass, because you don't do a child. This is a child. That's a child, my God, a child. You do this to. How you could do this to a child?
You know,
I want Grenada laws to be tough.
And a part of the problem is the courts. Well,
exactly.
The process, but the court hands are tied as well. Because you remember the story that we broke here on Ride Along with the young child who was sexually molested by this young man who came from the U.S. and came down to Grenada. We broke the story here because the mother sent us all the information, all the voice notes, and we put this out there. And there was so much evidence. There was so much evidence. The guy admitted to it.
Exactly.
He literally got a slap on the wrist. He got a slap on the wrist.
Exactly.
And he was allowed to fly out. But if it wasn't for Dennis and George and the constant, you know, updates on the story here and Ride Along, the folks in the international community never would have known about it. So he jumped on the fire straight into the pot. When he came up to New York, that's why he was able to be apprehended, and he's sentenced right now, and he's in prison for something that he did in Grenada.
And the thing is, Junior, Junior, my question is, where is the fathers? Where is the fathers? We need fathers. Where are the fathers?
Well, the father is active.
Not only the mothers.
The father is active.
Where is the father?
The father is active, and I have to
Thank
give
God
in this
father
case.
Is active.
In this case, I want to give the father thumbs up, because the father at this point in time, if the father is wasn't probably, I don't know if he's spiritual. I don't know if the man does meditate. But it takes a hard time to calm yourself down to the point that you don't want to do something. and then you end up in jail.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people ain't go
Exactly.
a lot of people go react on that impulse, that first impulse, and they go do something, and they go end up in Richmond Hill. They go end up in prison.
Exactly.
So,
and you know what? You know what, Junior? What is so embarrassing? Not only for Grenada but other Caribbean countries, when things like that happen. Look, we're in New York here.
Mm-hmm.
When something like a man rape a child, or there's the media here, they put them on blast on the TV. Why Caribbean countries can do that? You do wrong, the evidence come, plaster the face like on billboards. I don't care. Who is the culprit? Plaster the face so people could see what happened. Look what happened in the Bronx with that little girl.
Yeah.
That little 4-year-old. That boyfriend punched that kid in the stomach and killed her. How dare you do this to a child? And I blame some of these women who bring this kind of culprits around our children. We have to take responsibility for because remember, Junior, God gave us these children.
Yes.
And let me tell you something, He's going to ask us for them. So we have a responsibility as parents, as community, as a church, as leaders. Do not close our eyes when we see those things. Don't sweep it under the carpet. This is our children. Because when you look in society, the majority of them, you see either they're bisexual, you might see them prostituting, and you ask yourself, no, what is wrong? And we quick to blame, oh, she's a this and she's a that, and he's a this and he's a that. But when you look down to the nitty-gritty of the well-being in the home, and those things happen, you have to wonder to yourself, but I'm praying for that child, and I'm praying for that family, that this man or whoever done this to this child, may justice come for this child. That's a child. She's just growing up into this world, and you take advantage of this child. How dare you?
Yes.
You know. So I hope you get some help. Yes. So I'm saying good afternoon to everybody. It hurts. It hurts me, Junior. It hurts me to the core. That's a child. It hurts me.
Absolutely. Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Guys, we got some new information. Let's take a quick break. Let me drink some water. I'm coming back. Don't move.
When your choice, class, and taste says luxury, visit JTS Luxury Home. With our spring into summer sale, all overstocked items must go. We stock a wide assortment of modern furniture, bedding, and home decor. The sale runs into midsummer or while stocks last. JTS Luxury Home, 467 Thomas Boylan Street, between Pitkin and East New York Avenue in Brooklyn, where opulence meets affordability.
Again, guys, so I'm getting information here as we speak. I'm gathering information, compiling information. Okay. Okay, so the information that I just received, I don't want to put it out yet. Let me do some checks on it. Yeah, let me do some check on it. I'm getting some information. I was going to say something, but it slipped me. So let's open back up the phone line, 718-701-5720. Let's talk a bit about this. And you probably not from Grenada. You probably watching this from, whatever country that you're watching us from. Is this something that is also affecting your community? Is this something that you are seeing or hearing? And how is this being dealt with in your country? Because in some places there are severe penalties for this type of molestation. If someone were to be found guilty of child molestation or any kind of sex crime against a minor, there are severe penalties for that. But a lot of times what happens is the perpetrator or the pedophile pass through court, they get a slap on the wrist and nothing. They might get a year, 2 years, if so much. They get bail and then they play out the whole thing. 5-6 years, the case can't call because there are so many cases of that same nature in court. I heard some good news earlier this week that said that this type of crime dropped 60%. And I was happy to hear that sexually molested crime dropped in Grenada over 60%. And that was good news to hear. But this just reminds us that we can't always only be reactive to situations like these. We can't be reactive because people memory short. People memory short. A lot of people don't even remember the situation, the story with the young man who came to Grenada that we broke the story right here. A lot of people don't remember that. A lot of people don't remember that. When you see the court call and they at the courthouse, everybody going and they protesting here and they protesting tomorrow, they forget about it. They forget about it. So we always reactive. They always reactive to the situations. But we need to be proactive. Let's take a call. Call it live. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Brooklyn, St. George's.
Go right ahead, St. George's.
Concerning the two-year-old incident that happened some parts in the country. This thing doesn't start from riding. It starts from a little play, a little play. Someone want to touch you in a how to say it, in an inappropriate way, and we take everything. We as parents take everything like it don't mean nothing, you know. I have only boys, but this thing is very touching to me because at the end of the day, we sit and listen as mothers to our children coming home and tell us things like, Daddy or Mommy, look, so-and-so does that, and there's no problem. I don't believe he go do that because he don't show in this kind of face.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that is what he is inside, you understand me? And for I as a mother to come home now and see a man on top of my child or my boyfriend on top of my child, the only thing I could think about is to end his life because at the end of the day, the law going and interrogate my child. He getting 2 years in prison. He coming back out and he going to do somebody else's child the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the sad part about it.
So I find the churches, the neighbors, we parents have to give people in the community chance to pull up on my children. When we see something, to talk to them. You know, tell our parents, but in time to come, that cannot happen because you can't go and tell nobody leave a child. You see that because they never looking to flow upon you. You understand me?
Right.
That is why things like that continuously happen because we don't decide to stand up for one another. The church lay back, the police, the magistrate, everybody lay back, and they wait until something serious happen, and then they see they come out now and they balling them well and.
Yes.
Them time it's too late. Somebody's been hurt already. You understand me?
Yes.
When you see from start, you need to pick it up from start and then work with it.
Yeah.
Then you will avoid all these kind of trauma. Because this child living with this thing, and God knows what could happen to this child in the next 20 years, in the next 25 years. She started reacting a kind of way.
Right. For the rest
child
of her
started
life.
moving this kind of way. Now we have to wonder now what could happen to her because if who's seen what happened to her can't remember, well, look, hey, that happened to her in the last 22 years. What happened to the child?
Yes.
We need to sit down and think about it from start. We need to have a plan. The churches, the lawyers, the community, everybody needs to sit down and get up with some other strategy on them kind of things.
Okay.
So we're going to know what to do for our children.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much, caller. We appreciate your input, all right?
Thank you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are too reactive. We don't remember. And we don't act. Now, as I said, guys, and all you know, we're famous for this thing here. We're famous for this thing. Because that's one thing we don't play with, eh? That one thing we don't play with. See that child abuse, sexual assault on a minor, we don't play with it. So once the information, we receive the information from the police and the person is charged and information is served, we are going to do what we need to do here to let the whole community, the whole world know who that person is. All right? Again, everything have to be done in a chronological way. Because at the same time, we don't want to have a situation where the case get thrown out because of whatever reason, right? So we have to be conscious of that as well. Hence the reason why there's a lot more that I could say that I don't want to say at this point in time. That will be said, but everything have to be done in a chronological order. I'm not going to come up here today and plaster his face, the person's face, over social media, because that could hinder the investigation, hinder the process, hinder the court, and at the end of the day, he may not be able, his trial might be somehow prejudiced. All right? So, or considered prejudice because of whatever information, or if we say too much or do too much at this point in time. All right? So hence the reason why we are taking this thing very meticulously slow. We are purposefully in our action. But we are just saying and standing firm that the leaders, the lawmakers, need to take a serious and hard look at this re-traumatization of children after alleged sexual molestation. Because this whole process is doing exactly that. It's re-traumatizing the children. It is further putting them in a dangerous path for life, because this is something that happened that will never be forgotten. She will die knowing that and remembering that this happened to her. All right? But rest assured, guys, my producer is she's very meticulous about our process, and we're not gonna override or do anything that would hinder any investigation. At the same time, guys, we stand by our mantra that everyone have a story to tell, and we do believe that everyone has a story to tell. Right? Everyone has a story to tell. I'm getting a call, but I don't know if this call is for on air. Stand by. No, this call is not for on air. All right, guys. We're going to take a few calls again, guys. If you have some more input, we're going to take your call, 718-701-5720. In the meantime, let's take another quick commercial break, and we'll be back.
The Miss Caribbean USA Summer Body Pageant Committee invites you and yours to New York's hottest summer fashion event. It's the Miss Caribbean USA Summer Body Pageant 2023. One night, one spacious and gorgeous location, 6 nations: Miss Grenada, Miss Panama, Miss Haiti, Miss Dominican Republic, Miss Guyana, and Miss Jamaica. Get your $40 early bird tickets on or before May 8th at eventbrite.com. Advance tickets cost $50 or you pay more at the door. Elegance, intelligence, poise, and beauty unbound. And performing live from Jamaica, DeVille. I'm thinking about you. Passionately memorable, DeVille. Baby, I'm sorry for praying. Along with New York's finest, including the Hitman, Inspector. Doors open at 4 p.m., showtime 6 p.m. Be seated early at the J-Loft, 1055 East 45th Street, Brooklyn, New York. For more info, contact 754-301-1230 or email summerbodyinfo@gmail.com. Miss Caribbean USA Summer Body Pageant 2023, Sunday, 25th June. It's going to be epic.
I'm the Caribbean girl.
When your choice, class, and taste says luxury, visit JTS Luxury Home. With our spring into summer sale, all overstocked items must go. We stock a wide assortment of modern furniture, bedding, and home decor. This sale runs into midsummer or while stocks last. JTS Luxury Home, 467 Thomas Boylan Street, between Pitkin and East New York Avenue in Brooklyn, where opulence meets affordability.
Top Bank introduces e-payments, our new e-banking feature that allows you to send wire transfers on the go to anywhere in the world. E-payments, the swift, simple, and secure way of transferring money.
Again, guys, we got to say thank you so much for joining us on this program here today. We're going to continue to update this story. Take this off the screen. We're going to continue to update this story, guys, and follow the leads of the RGPF as they proceed in this investigation. Again, these are allegations at this point. We were able to look into it and corroborate the story by eyewitness to the incident, but we do understand that there are other sides to the story that may emerge or will emerge after this. And we are open and welcome to hear all sides of this story. But there are a lot of questions as to why and how this particular incident could happen involving a 2-year-old child in the parish of St. Andrew. Notice that we didn't give anyone specific detail as to the village as yet, because we are very, 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 very careful. We do not want this particular child to be identified at this time. All right, very, 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 very cautious about this at this time. All right. Anyway, guys, take care of yourself, take care of your children, speak to your children, continue to speak to your children. Make sure mothers and fathers, you have a good relationship. You could have a conversation with your kids. If there's anything that's happening in their life, it's good that they could come to you and talk to you. Create a conduit now where your children could come and chat with you. You don't want to create the atmosphere where they're afraid to come and say something to you. Because if that was the situation, in many of the cases that we covered here before, the child would have felt like they would be disciplined if they went and talked to their mother. Not in this case, but cases prior. This was not the case here, but it was the case before. So parents, make sure you have an open line of communication with your children. Make sure that your children don't feel scared to come and talk to you. Create that relationship with their mothers and fathers is very important, and protect your children. They are the lawyers, the doctors, the future television hosts, the future nurses and politicians and prime ministers. The people this generation would be the people that would stand over you and administer surgery when we get old and gray and we retire in a couple of years and we can't walk no more. These are the people. Do we want a whole generation of traumatized young people now? So what the future gonna look like? That don't make no kind of sense. Make that make sense. That don't make no kind of sense. We cannot traumatize this generation so they cannot even function when it's their time to step up to the plate to administer and take the responsibility. Huh? We have to take a serious look. And the men need to stand up and talk out. Because no pedophile, alleged pedophile, or no kind of man like that could be my friend. Anyone that in that mindset, you can't be liming with me. And if men take that strong approach and speak out against other men that is involved in this kind of thing, can be no brethren and bro and ponging and them kind of drinking beer with you. I ain't drinking no beer with you. I want beer. Nah, I don't, I distance myself. If I know somebody to be that way, I don't hang in around with you. I don't lime in with you. You're not my friend. And that's, as they say, as the young people say, period. Anyway, guys, I'm gone. See you tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Tomorrow is No Drama on a Friday, right? Trivia. Looking forward to see you guys 6 p.m., all right? Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Make it a day. Don't be late. On behalf of all our production crew here, before we go, we got to tell you about all the wonderful things that's happening around your area. Don't forget the Miss Caribbean USA Summer Body Pageant. That is coming up. You guys can get your ticket. We just put the link down at the bottom. You could click right there to get your tickets. Tickets are going fast. That's the 25th of June. It's going to be a really, really, really nice event. You can't afford to miss this one. Also, guys, we are talking about Jab in Color. This is for Spice Mask, Grenada Carnival. Get ready for Spice Mask, Grenada Carnival, Jab in Color. Get your packages, guys. Real sexy outfits and thing. Get your packages for Jab in Color right now. Juve with a difference with Jab in Color. And we're talking about Monday Night Mass with amazing colors. Monday Night Mass with amazing colors, guys. It is going to be amazing. So amazing. So amazing. All packages available right now online at mnngrenada.com. That's mnngrenada.com. T-shirt packages with your T-shirt, your glow stick, your headpiece, your unlimited drinks. Unlimited drinks, guys. Drink until drinks can done. And this year we have a big truck, real music, real vibes, more drinks than we ever had before. It'll be real vibes. Get your packages right now for amazing colors where it's simply amazing. Guys, we also have a bingo coming up in our bingo. Yeah, we have a bingo coming up. We have a bingo coming up. Riders $1,500 bingo. You could get your bingo tickets right now by going to ridebuy.com. That's R-Y-D-E. Let me put it there, RYDEBUY.com. That's the link right there. Get your bingo tickets right now. The tickets are, get this, 3 tickets for $10. 3 tickets for $10. And you get 5 tickets for $20. 5 tickets for $20. Get your tickets for the bingo right now, and you could win up to $1,500. $1,500 smackaroos. Wow, $1,500 USA. It's a virtual bingo, so you can play from anywhere. If you're in Trinidad, Jamaica, wherever you're from, wherever you are, you could play, all right? So you have no reason not to play. Oh, you can't come out, or you don't have a shoes to wear, or you don't have a clothes to wear. No, you can stay in your bedroom and play. Get your tickets tonight at ridebuy.com. In fact, tomorrow, guys, during Ride Trivia, we have a special 3 tickets for $5 special tomorrow. 3 tickets for $5 special tomorrow on our bingo game. So come prepared to play. Sorry, 3 tickets for $10. 5 tickets for $10 tomorrow. Get your tickets now at ridebuy.com. Dostik. Get it tonight. On behalf of all our production crew here at Ride Along Live, our senior executive producer, Lois JJ. Hey, moderator, we have Gail. How you doing, Gail? I ain't seen a long time, Gail. You cool? Deanne Fraser. Kibbs, how you guys doing? Hardest working ladies on social media. Thank you guys so much. This has been a production of Ride Along Live. Also, I gotta say, I almost forget to say, that if you're looking for a t-shirt printing, right? T-shirt printing and design, you gotta check out Riders Printing. Yeah, we have, where I'm looking to right there, right on the extension of this building is a print shop, right? So we have our own print shop, our own branding shop, as we call it. And we print all sorts of things. Shirts, you want to, put your status on your shirt, or you want a big orders, 5,000 orders, whatever you need, big, small, it doesn't matter. Professional print, right, at Riders Studio. Give us a call and we'll show you some samples of some of our excellent work. But Riders Printing and Design Factory. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Good night.